President Trump is absolutely going off the rails tonight, flat out attacking anybody who could stand in the way of his nomination of Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. He went even so far as to mock Christine Blasey Ford.
36 years ago, this happened. I had one beer, right? I had one beer. Well, do you think it was? Nope, it was one beer. Oh, good. How did you get home? I don't remember. How'd you get there? I don't remember. Where is the place? I don't remember. How many years ago was it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What neighborhood was it in? I don't know. Where's the house? I don't know. Upstairs, downstairs, where was it? I don't know. But I had one beer. That's the only thing I remember.
I guess the president is really feeling the pressure tonight because what he says about Professor Ford is just not true, okay? She testified for hours, and she remembered a whole lot more than the fact that she had one beer. She described the living room on the first floor, the narrow stairs leading to the second floor, the bedroom across from the bathroom, the music playing in the bedroom, and she remembered exactly what happened when she says Brett Kavanaugh got on top of her, groped her, according to her, tried to undress her, and put his hands over her mouth to keep her from screaming. She described her fear that he would accidentally kill her. She was clear about what she couldn't remember as well, and crystal clear about the things she says she can never forget.
Indelible in the hippocampus is the laughter, the uproarious laughter between the two, and they're having fun at my expense.
And last week, Donald Trump, just one day after that testimony, the president himself called her a very credible witness.
I thought her testimony was very compelling, and she looks like a very fine woman to me. Very fine woman. Certainly she was a very credible witness.
So we learned tonight that our president cannot resist mocking a woman who he had called a credible witness in front of a cheering crowd. And we're learning more tonight about Brett Kavanaugh as well. There's a letter, it was obtained by the New York Times. It was written in 1983. We have a copy here, when he was 18 years old. Kavanaugh, writing to his high school buddies, he says this, and I'm quoting, "We're loud, obnoxious drunks with prolific pukers among us." His own words, not how he presented himself to Fox News or in his committee testimony. The reporter who uncovered that letter is here, and he's going to join me in just a few minutes, and we're going to discuss all of it. His colleagues at the New York Times have another big scoop tonight, a massive investigation, in fact. The Times, right, the hometown paper of President Trump that he loves to hate, reporting that as part of a plan to help his parents, to help them duck taxes, Donald Trump got the equivalent of at least $413 million from his father. So when Trump claimed that he started his business with a small $1 million loan, as if a small $1 million loan, that's small, then he was only $412 million off. We've got more to come on that as well. But did you see what President Trump said to reporters asking him about the sexual assault allegations against Brett Kavanaugh? I really want to dig into that tonight because it says so much about why people are so fired up about the Kavanaugh nomination and the things the president is saying to defend him. So let's break it down.
I say that it's a very scary time for young men in America when you can be guilty of something that you may not be guilty of.
Okay, the whole guilty of something you may not be guilty of thing, that's just the way the president talks. But his meaning is clear. He is saying young men in America should be scared of being falsely accused. Now, don't get me wrong, false accusations happen, and I think we can all agree they're terrible, but they're also pretty rare. Somewhere between 2 and 10%. That's according to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center. Here's more of what the president said.
You could be somebody that was perfect your entire life, and somebody could accuse you of something. Doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, as everybody says, but somebody could accuse you of something, and you're automatically guilty.
So obviously, nobody is perfect, and nobody is automatically guilty just because of the accusation. And that's definitely not what's happening to Judge Kavanaugh's case. In Judge Kavanaugh's case, that's not what's happening. Christine Blasey Ford has told her story of what she says Kavanaugh did to her when they were teenagers. Brett Kavanaugh has told his. And now the FBI is in the middle of an investigation, interviewing multiple witnesses, including Kavanaugh's high school friend, Mark Judge. Though Professor Ford's attorneys say the FBI has not talked to her, at least not yet. But they have talked to a second accuser, Deborah Ramirez, and the investigation is expanding tonight. So why does the president seem to be assuming there's been a false accusation?
In this realm, you are truly guilty until proven innocent. That's one of the very, very bad things that's taking place right now.
Guilty until proven innocent. That's really interesting coming from Donald Trump. Because you might remember that he once spent $85,000 placing full-page ads in New York City newspapers calling for the death penalty for the Central Park Five. They were Black and Latino teenagers who were accused and eventually exonerated of raping a white jogger in Central Park. And Donald Trump never backed down. So what's with all this talk about guilty until proven innocent and false accusations? President Trump himself told us just last week why he seems to assume the accusations against Brett Kavanaugh are false.
I view it differently than somebody sitting home watching television where they say, oh, Judge Kavanaugh, this or that. It's happened to me many times. I've had many false charges. When you say, does it affect me in terms of my thinking with respect to Judge Kavanaugh? Absolutely.
Well, I guess that explains why the president thinks this is a scary time for men. Maybe he means it's a scary time for men who say things like this.
I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.